Hello everyone, thank you so much for clicking on today's video and welcome to my channel. In today's story, we encounter an entitled bridezilla that has gone absolutely insane. The story starts with her completely ruining her mother's priceless wedding dress, but those were just the events that were catalyst in the revelation of a horrible persona. I do hope that you enjoy this story. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. And again, I just wanted to thank everybody who had subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. You guys are the ones that keep me going. And for those of you that have not subscribed, I would really appreciate it that if you like my stories and would like to support me, you hit the subscribe button. I have a personal goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers and your subscription would really help. Anyways, onto the story. Am I the a-hole for not paying any more towards our daughter's wedding after she cut pieces off of her mother's wedding dress for her own? My wife made her wedding dress with her mother. It's very sentimental to her, and she was very proud of it. It was simple, but freaking gorgeous. She's always said that she would love for our kids to wear her dress at their wedding. We have 3 daughters, 34 years old, 30 years old, and 25, and one son who's 28. My wife made it known that the dress was not to be altered except to be taken in or let out so that it could be kept and reworn. Our youngest daughter didn't wear it. Our daughter-in-law wore it for their reception, and our son held it up against him for some pre-wedding bridal pictures, so he wasn't left out. He totally rocked it. Oldest daughter wore it for her wedding. We've offered some financial contributions to all of our children towards either school, a wedding, or a house down payment. Olivia has asked for help paying for her wedding. The wedding is in the beginning of August. A few months ago, Olivia asked my wife if she could use the dress for her wedding, and my wife gave her the dress so that Olivia could get it fitted with plenty of time. Tuesday, Olivia asked me to go with her to pay some vendors. One of the stops was the tailor shop for a final fitting and pay the seamstress. Olivia was really nervous, and I figured it was just some pre-wedding jitters and excitement. The dress Olivia came out in was not at all her mother's dress. It was a completely different dress with parts of her mother's gown added to it. She took the straps, the sash, the train, and the embroidered top skirt and had it added to the new dress. I was befuddled for a bit and then asked what the hell this was. Olivia's reasoning was that she was the last of our kids to get married and there wasn't anyone else to wear it, and she made sure to instruct that they keep the original dress to be returned to her. I told her that that's not the same and she knows it, and the dress was never hers to do with what she wanted. I asked the seamstress for the rest of my wife's dress and had Olivia tell my wife in person what she had done. My wife was devastated. I've since cancelled the payments I made that day, and I told her that I won't be paying another cent to her wedding. She and her fiancé can figure it out. Our youngest daughter thinks that I've gone overboard knowing Olivia planned her wedding with our help in mind, and without it, she can't even finish paying for everything. Olivia's future in-laws also agree with that. They can't afford to help and suggest that I should pay, and then we just go low contact with Olivia. I've told them both that Olivia took something irreplaceable from her mother for her own vanity. I know we originally offered help with the wedding, but I think Olivia's actions warrant cancelling that offer. So, am I the a-hole? The OP then added an edit to the original post. Thank you everyone for the responses. My wife and I will look at more of them tomorrow and discuss the subject further. We just want to address a misconception. We have not gone low or no contact with Olivia. Her in-laws suggested it, and that's honestly insane. My wife's initial reaction to finding out Tuesday was to not go to the wedding. That was said in anger and not a done deal. It would probably depend a lot on Olivia's handling until then as well. Taking her dress she paid for would hurt our relationship with her just as much as not paying for anything else, which is why we're discussing our options and skimming through the comments for things we have not thought of and are doable. My wife and I are reading as many comments as we can. She appreciates the concern and support. For those saying that the dress wouldn't be worn anyway, She has this to say: "It's not about whether or not it would be worn again. If none of my children asked to wear it, I would still keep the dress for me. My mother taught me everything I know about sewing. We spent months picking out the fabrics and doing trial and error on practice dresses as we made mine. It was mine. It was my one prized possession that held incredible memories for me. I had thought of having it put in my casket with me because once I'm gone, the person it mattered to is gone. However, I would have worn it again. Our 40th anniversary is in a couple of years, and I was very much looking forward to recreating our photos. It may seem like I'm choosing my dress over my daughter. I'm not. It's her deceit, indifference, and blatant lack of remorse that I'm hurt most by and having a hard time dealing with. It's the underhanded ways she thought to address the issue. It's the fact that she will not apologize and have a conversation with me, but is only worried about the rest of her wedding items being paid for and pinning it until after her honeymoon. I did not raise her to be like that. I would have loved to help her make designs for the dresses she picked out if she had asked, and she knows this. I have never denied her help in her life, nor has our help come with conditions. Today, we'll take my wife's dress to the seamstress that has the Franken dress to see what can be repaired. My wife has said that the sash and the train are most likely lost as the fabric of the gown was cut and the seams undone properly. I'm paraphrasing here, not up on sewing lingo. Unfortunately, even if it can be restored or part of it, Olivia is currently not wanting to give up the dress after the wedding. She wants to keep hers and is imploring her mother to understand since she kept her wedding dress for so long. We don't want to lose our relationship with our daughter, but we both agree that there needs to be consequences, and there isn't really any moving forward if Olivia isn't willing to budge on anything. After posting, my wife went to the seamstress shop and had the pieces of her dress removed since Olivia refused to have them taken off and returned after the wedding. This caused an upset with our daughter when she found out. Our future son-in-law came to talk to us afterwards to get our side of the story. Regrettably, Olivia was not honest with him about the situation and had told him my wife was upset that Olivia took too many parts off the dress. He was not aware that she lied to get the dress in the first place and was avoiding her mother. As it turned out, he got involved after two of her bridesmaids dropped out at the same time, and he was getting conflicting stories from her and them. Olivia had used their phones to cancel plans with their respective boyfriends so that they could be free for last-minute plans Olivia made with the bridesmaids. According to Olivia's friends, her personality has changed over the last few years when she got a promotion at work and had an assistant and a team working under her. A week and a half before the wedding, the son-in-law asked if they could come over. He got Olivia to talk to her mother and she apologized. She explained why she did what she did. She wanted similar pieces on her dress, but the cost was going to be too much. It was cheaper to add parts. Olivia had said that she felt a need to keep up with some of the other women she had worked with and had a hard time shutting that personality off. She has started therapy and will be changing jobs to a different company. We did not pay more towards the wedding. They agreed to have the catering they could afford on their own, and families potlucking the rest. They also came up with a solution for music and decoration. This way, my wife can get what she needs to repair her dresses the best she can. The parts that are not able to be put back on her dress, my wife is using them to make a photo album cover for each of our kids. As for Olivia's dress, my wife spent the time leading up to the wedding making new pieces and attached them to Olivia's dress herself. It'll be a while before we trust our daughter again like we used to, but we're on the road to recovery. The wedding was a lot of fun, and Olivia and our newest family members seemed to really enjoy themselves. Thanks again for your support, everyone. OP then went on to highlight the changes that Olivia had to make for the wedding to move forward. These changes included confronting the people she had wronged, therapy, and a job change were the conditions of their relationship continuing. By their relationships, OP means the relationship between Olivia and her partner. My first thought when the son-in-law called to come over was that they were going to say that it had been postponed or cancelled. So guys, what did you think about this? Honestly, I think people really glossed over the fact that Olivia basically broke into other people's phones and then changed their plans with their partners just so that she could get what she wanted. Like, who even thinks like that? I'm also genuinely surprised that Olivia's partner decided to proceed with the wedding. Like, when you find out stuff like that about your partner, maybe you should at the very least postpone it and possibly go to couples counseling or something like that, just so that you can establish what your boundaries are and where your partner stands. It's the best way to create a solid foundation for your relationship going forward. Anyways guys, I do hope that you enjoyed this story. If you do, please leave a thumbs up and please subscribe if you'd like to hear more stories from Reddit with updates.